The generous farmer and the orphans. The sun had just begun to rise over the quiet countryside when old Ben Carter stepped out onto his wooden porch with a deep stretch. His farm had been in his family for 3 generations, and although it wasn't the biggest or the most modern place around, everyone who knew him always said he had the kindest heart in the whole county. Ben believed that people were a lot like soil. If you treated them with patience and care, something good would always grow. Ben lived alone on his farm after his wife passed away years earlier. He tried to stay busy, tending to his cornfield, feeding his animals, fixing fences, and doing all the little jobs that kept the place running. Even though he lived by himself, the farm never felt empty, because he filled every day with purpose. People said he worked too hard for his age, but Ben never felt lonely. The land kept him company. One cool morning in late spring, while he was tightening the hinges on the old barn door, he heard soft footsteps behind him. When he turned around, he saw 3 children standing a few feet away. They were quiet, thin, and dusty from walking. Their clothes looked worn, and their faces had that tired look of kids who had carried too many heavy worries for too long. The oldest, a boy who looked about 13, held the hand of a little girl who might have been 6. Between them stood another boy, maybe 9, holding a small cloth bag with everything they owned inside. Ben wiped the sweat from his forehead and gave them a gentle smile. "Morning there. You kids lost?" The older boy swallowed, as if the simple question had made his throat tighten. "Sir, we don't have anywhere to go." His voice trembled, but he tried to stand tall. Ben felt something shift inside him, a familiar ache that came whenever he saw someone struggling. "Well now," he said softly, "come sit with me on the porch. Tell me what happened." The 3 siblings followed him to the porch steps. They sat close together as if unsure whether the world was safe. Ben sat too, not wanting to tower over them. "Take your time," he said. The oldest boy took a breath. "My name is Sam. This is my brother Noah and my sister Lily. Our parents passed away last winter, and no one in our family could take us in. We were staying at a neighbor's house for a while, but their farm wasn't doing well. They said they couldn't care for us anymore." His voice cracked. "We didn't know where else to go." Ben listened without interrupting. He saw so much fear in their eyes, the kind that didn't belong on children's faces. Lily's small hands clutched her ragged dress, and Noah kept glancing around like he expected someone to chase them away. Ben leaned forward. "You kids had breakfast yet?" They shook their heads. "That settles it," he said with a smile. "Nobody tells a story on an empty stomach. Come on." He brought them inside his warm kitchen, and soon the smell of scrambled eggs and warm toast filled the air. Sam tried to insist that they didn't need much, that they could eat little, but Ben pretended not to hear him and served them generous plates anyway. The look on their faces when they took those first bites almost broke him. Children shouldn't know hunger this way. After breakfast, Ben asked, "And where were you planning to go after this?" Sam looked down. "We don't know." Ben rubbed his chin. "Well, I won't have 3 kids wandering around with no roof over their heads. If you want, you can stay here for now. I've got enough room, and there's plenty of work if you want to help around the place." Lily's eyes brightened in a way that made Ben's heart twist. Noah looked ready to cry from relief. Sam tried to stay strong, but Ben could see his shoulders loosen a little. "Are you sure?" Sam whispered. "Absolutely," Ben said. "A farm always runs better with more hands and more laughter." And just like that, the 3 children became part of the farm. In the first days, they were quiet and cautious. Sam tried hard to act older than he was, waking up before dawn to help Ben carry feed buckets or pull weeds from the garden. Noah followed him everywhere, watching everything with serious eyes and asking gentle questions. Lily stuck close to Ben like a shadow, holding the hem of his shirt whenever she got nervous. Ben didn't push them to talk about their past. Instead, he gave them small tasks that made them feel useful. Sam helped mend fences. Noah learned how to collect eggs without cracking them. Lily helped water the flowers around the porch, humming softly while she did it. As the weeks passed, The children began to settle in. Their faces grew fuller, their skin warmed from sunlight instead of cold wind, and their laughter slowly came back to life. One afternoon, Ben found Sam staring across the field with a worried expression. "Something on your mind?" he asked. Sam sighed. "I want to help you more. You've done everything for us, and all we do is eat your food and sleep in your house." Ben shook his head gently. "You're helping me by being here. You kids bring something this place was missing." "What's that?" Ben smiled. "Family." The word hung in the air like a quiet gift. Sam blinked fast and nodded, swallowing his emotions the way boys who have grown up too fast tend to do. Summer rolled in, hot and bright. The four of them worked the fields together, side by side. Ben taught Sam how to steer the old tractor. Noah learned how to milk the cow, though the cow had a habit of flicking her tail right into his face. Lily adopted a baby goat that followed her everywhere like a clumsy shadow. They stopped being the kids and became my kids whenever Ben talked about them to neighbors. But life, as always, had its storms. One evening, heavy dark clouds rolled across the sky. The wind picked up fast, bending trees and rattling windows. Ben stepped outside and felt a deep worry. "A storm's coming in mean," he said. "We need to bring the animals into the barn." Sam, Noah, and Lily rushed beside him without hesitation. It started to rain hard, the kind that slapped the ground and stung the skin. Thunder cracked so loudly it made Lily jump, but Sam held her close while they hurried to the barn. Inside, the air smelled of hay and fear. The animals were restless. Ben worked quickly with Sam and Noah, guiding the cows and goats to safety while Lily coaxed the frightened chickens inside. Then a sudden sharp crack split the air. A huge tree branch had fallen near the barn, blocking the back door. Ben rushed toward it, but his foot slipped on the wet ground. Sam dashed forward instantly, grabbing his arm before he could fall. Together, the boys dragged the branch aside enough to close the barn securely. By the time they were done, all four were soaked, panting but safe. When they got back to the house, Ben lit a lantern. The power was out, leaving everything in warm candlelight. The children sat close together on the couch, wrapped in blankets. Ben sat across from them and took a long breath. "I want you to listen to something," he said. All three looked up. "You kids saved me today. You didn't run. You didn't hide. You stood with me in the middle of a storm. That's what family does. I don't want you to think you owe me anything. Don't. You being here. It's a blessing I didn't know I needed." For a long moment no one spoke. Then Lily got up, walked to Ben, and climbed into his lap without asking. Sam and Noah moved closer too, sitting on either side of him. In that quiet room with the storm raging outside, something unspoken but powerful happened. Something that made them feel safe in a way they hadn't felt in a long time. Days turned into months, and the farm looked different now. Not just the land, the whole place felt more alive. Shoes on the porch. Chores done with laughter. Lily's drawings taped to the fridge. Sam's new efforts to fix up the tool shed. Noah's little vegetable patch he tended with pride. One fall evening, as orange leaves drifted gently across the yard, Ben sat on the porch watching the kids chase each other around. He felt a fullness in his chest that had nothing to do with food or harvest. It was something deeper, a kind of peace. The children had arrived with nothing. No money, no belongings, no place to go. But they had brought something worth far more. They had brought purpose back into his life. They had brought warmth back into a house that had been quiet for too long. Ben had taken them in because it was the right thing to do. But in the end, he realized they had saved him too. And that was the beauty of kindness. It never left anyone empty. Sometimes it filled the giver even more than the receiver. Years later, people in town would talk about Ben Carter and the three children who came to him in need. They would say it was kindness that brought them together. But the truth ran deeper. It wasn't just kindness. It was love. The kind that grows quietly, patiently, like crops in a field. Fed by hope, warmed by care, and harvested by hearts willing to give. And as long as Ben lived, Not a day passed when he didn't feel grateful for the moment he saw 3 tired children standing at the edge of his barn, asking for nothing but a chance. He gave them a home. They gave him a family. And that was the kind of blessing no storm could ever wash away. Moral of the story: true generosity comes from the heart. When you help someone in need with honesty and kindness, life finds a way to return that goodness to you in unexpected and beautiful ways.